Oh, guys, even another Spider-Man No Way Home week. Hello, everybody. Week information on Sony's plans. And as he worked at Marvel Studios with my companion, yeah, this is fake already. You know, if you say any words, he walked into the studio, they wouldn't allow you to do this, no matter what. As in, a rough cover of No Way Home that was roughly 3 hours and 20 minutes long. Yeah, they're not gonna make the movie longer than Endgame. No Way Home is not gonna be longer than Endgame. There was unfair CGI and many animations and standard footage for his photography. If you read the script, there's much change from filming. I can answer questions based on Brian Hill. That was in the cut. Film opens immediately after aftermath of Far From Home. Peter as Spidey is on the run and ends up surrounded by SWAT and police helicopters atop the Statue of Liberty. Peter Van escapes using the helicopters, and he removes his badge and his rests on the police pile clothes he's staying on. Most Enzo's plays blah blah blah. You know, followed by Senior Peter Quill. He's being defended by Matt Murdock, who is played by Charlie Cox, trying to convince Doug that Peter Parker is not Spider-Man. That doesn't appear to prove Spider-Man innocent, does Peter. The court is adjourned for a day, and Peter speaks of Matt and May and Happy. As they exit, they see Mysterio supporters protesting the front of the courthouse, along with people who believe Peter is being framed. Peter meets Ned and MJ at bakery at work. They discuss the identity reveal and show Peter a Midtown new a news area. Yo. Peter has a nightmare about him winning, and he'll destroy everything that Peter has. Yo. Ned smarter lets him. And Peter speaks of Ned about his concerns with Guy and how it's affected his friendship and relationship with MJ. But Ned promises Peter that they both have his back. The next day, Peter goes to the courthouse of Matt, Happy, and May, and meet Ned and MJ at the door. And they're suddenly overwhelmed by a group of Mysterio supporters. Peter tries to get everybody out there without using his powers, but struggles to transform the Sanctum Sanctorum with Ned, MJ, Happy, and May. Yep, there we go, the Doctor Strange thing. And yep, here we go. The multiverse, great threats from these multiverse. Yeah, we know this stuff. Yeah, this is stuff that has been on every other week of the Sinister Six being released into the world, multiverse being confirmed. I think the multiverse would be the best way to introduce the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. I think that'll be the best way to introduce them into the series instead of just saying, "Oh, they're there. They didn't do anything, but they're there." Peter leaves the Doctor Strange area, and he's, when Paul Gardner's attacks it, he attempts to take him out in a sequence that can only be described as destructive bullwhite. It's almost Rivals Mercy until a bad hole cover causes him, knocking him over. As a Garfield, Spider-Man now enters the fight and bans the final and Peter before the two decide to use the Empire Strikes Back reference to take him down. End of Act 1. Here. And yeah, they regroup and introduce themselves as each other. They track down the villain of the Strange Estate. This is like literally like the entire plot of the movie, yo. Why? This is like the entire plot of this movie, yo. We go on to death from Spider-Man 2. But yep, Dr. Octopus is back and revealed that Otto is taking control of Ock's consciousness and he was at the brink of death. Ock, Electro and Ock agreed to Norman's plan to join forces with him. Yeah. Attempt to figure out where Electro is. Matt Andrews, Gwen Stacy, and Uncle Ben. Man mentions that Tom and Ben are quickly reveal off the topic. When Andrew claims there is no Tony Stark in this world. Oscorp is an industrial giant of this world. MJ brings up the existence of Oscorp in the MCU, so it appears saying the Oscorp industry has purchased the Avengers Tower, the first non-stock company to have access to the Arc Power reactor. When Peter explains to Andrew what the Arc reactor is, we're assuming that Rexo is going after the reactor and head to the tower. Yeah. Here we go. I got him surprised as a Goomba. Rexo remarks the power is anyways. Oswald tells the overpower a brief rift in reality. And blah blah blah. Basically, they can travel to the multiverse at will. Peter and Andrew are evolved as followers of Spider-Man as Spidey. Peter brings up the Faraday incident and Tony's death and Mysterio's victory and relates it to freeing the villains and how he keeps making mistakes that cost him. Andrew speaks about Script and Stacy, Connors, Harry, Gwen, and all the other Spider-Mans. Spider people. Yeah. And yeah. But interrupted by Earthquake and Sandman goes through the rift thinking he's going home. Sandman steps out through And before others can enter, the two Spiders show up to stop him. They engage him in a fight, and with Arc, Wizard, and Electro struggles to contain the energy. And along with Wizard, the Spider is flung into a street where the Wizard is dead now. And yep, there we go. This is the climax of the movie where all the Spider-Mans, fight off against the Sinister Six. Where they beat up the Sandman and all the Sinister Six guys. And yeah, there we go. End of Act 2. So we're not even done with this supposed week yet. End of Act 2. We're not in Act 3 yet, but there we go about this supposed Spider-Man week again. This could be just someone making stuff up, but yeah, that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.